When my wife asked to go on a girls' trip without me, I trusted her. I even booked her flight and gave her spending money. But a week later, I found a video that shattered everything I believed about our marriage and about her. Welcome to Infidelity Truths. Before we dive into today's gripping story, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more thrilling stories just for you. Let's begin. When Leah and I hit our third wedding anniversary, everything felt like a well oiled machine. We weren't rushing to start a family. Both of us were career driven and relished the freedom that came with our child free lifestyle. Spontaneous road trips, late night takeout, entire Sundays spent binge watching old sitcoms in our pajamas. It was our thing. Leah was the kind of woman people didn't forget. Bright, magnetic, full of wit, and unpredictable in the most enchanting way. There was never a dull moment with her, but there was something else too. Something subtle but telling. Leah couldn't lie to save her life. I'd learned early in our relationship that when she was lying, her eyes would dart to the side, her fingers would twitch, and her voice would waver just slightly. It was like having my own built in lie detector. That spring, Leah started talking more and more about needing a break. I need a real vacation, she said one night, swirling a glass of white wine. Somewhere warm, sun, sand, and silence. I was neck deep in a project at work, deadlines stacking like dominoes, and frankly, I didn't want to take 2 weeks off just to sweat on a crowded beach. Why don't we plan something for the fall? I offered. Maybe a mountain lodge or a quiet city getaway. She smiled, but it didn't quite reach her eyes. Maybe I'll just go without you this time, she said casually. I raised an eyebrow. Alone? With Naomi, she said quickly. Naomi, her best friend since college, recently divorced and still partying like she was 22. I wasn't thrilled at the thought of Leah sipping mojitos next to Naomi on sun-drenched beaches, but I trusted Leah. She was my wife, not my prisoner. Just promise me you won't end up on a beach reality show, I joked. Leah laughed and clinked her glass against mine. Promise. The night before she left, I helped her finalize her bookings and gave her some extra money for spa treatments or souvenirs. She was glowing with excitement, and I felt good about us. We were strong, or so I thought. Leah flew out on a Wednesday. I kissed her at the airport, told her to relax and have fun. The first few days were easy. Texts, photos, videos of her and Naomi doing yoga on paddleboards and eating seafood by the beach. One selfie showed Leah squinting at the sun, captioned, "Miss you, babe. Wish you were here." But around day 5, things changed. Her texts slowed to a trickle. No more videos, no check-ins. I chalked it up to poor reception or busy schedules, but a weight began to settle in my chest. I texted her one night. Good night, babe. Hope you're having fun. Hours passed. When she finally replied, it was just night. Super tired. Love you. No emojis, no inside jokes. Not her. I tried to shrug it off, telling myself she was probably just exhausted. But the silence the next day hit harder. No texts, no calls. I left a voicemail. Nothing. 2 days later, she finally messaged a blurry photo of some market with the caption, "Been busy, we'll catch up later. No, I miss you, no, love you." That's when the suspicion began. Leah returned Sunday evening. I stood at baggage claim, scanning faces until I spotted her. She looked radiant, tan, glowing, refreshed. She ran into my arms, hugging me tight. "I missed you so much," she said. I hugged her back, but something inside me recoiled. Something felt off. In the car, she wouldn't stop talking. About the food, the late night bonfires, Naomi's crazy antics. Her voice had this practiced tone, like she'd rehearsed the highlights. At home, she dropped her suitcase and declared she was going to shower. I joked, "You didn't come back empty-handed, did you?" She laughed, too quickly. "Of course not." She knelt by her suitcase, rummaging through it. That's when I noticed something tucked between her clothes. Bright-colored lingerie. Lacy. Expensive. Definitely not her style. Then she paused. Her hand hovered over a small black bag. She pulled out a bottle of rum and handed it to me like it was a ticking bomb. "Got you some local rum," she said, smiling weakly. Inside the bag was the bottle wrapped in a cartoon dolphin shirt. I said thanks and set it aside while she slipped away into the bathroom. In the days that followed, she was almost too perfect. Cooking, laughing, snuggling during movies like nothing had changed. But I saw the differences. Her phone never left her hand. She changed her password. Late night notifications would flash and she'd quickly flip the screen down. Then, one night while she was in the shower, I saw a text pop up. Brandon, had a dream about you last night. There was a shirtless man in the profile picture. Tanned, smug looking. I didn't recognize him. When Leah came out wrapped in a towel, I asked, "Who's Brandon?" She paused for a fraction of a second too long. "Oh, just a guy Naomi and I met. He organized our snorkeling trip." "At midnight?" I asked lightly. "You're overthinking it," she said, brushing past me with a kiss. The next day, I searched the resort's Instagram page, scrolling until I found it. A video from a beach party. People dancing, drinks in hand. There she was, Leah, laughing, dancing with a drink in her hand. Brandon right beside her, his arm draped around her shoulder. They were inches from kissing. That night, I said nothing until dinner was over. She was curled up on the couch. I put my glass down hard. "We need to talk." She looked up. "About what?" "Brandon," I said flatly. Her smile faltered. "I told you, just a guy from the trip." "I saw the video," I said. "You were practically making out." Her face drained of color. "You're blowing this out of proportion." "Am I, or are you just upset you got caught?" She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. "Pack your things," I said. "What?" "You heard me. Get out." 15 minutes later, she was dragging her suitcase to the door. Mascara streaked down her cheeks. "It didn't mean anything," she whispered. I closed the door without answering. The house was silent. I slept on the couch that night, staring at the ceiling, feeling like my insides had been scraped raw. Days passed in a blur. I buried myself in work. Then Naomi called. "Daniel," she said, her voice low. "I didn't want to get involved, but you need to know. Leah went to a clinic. She wasn't feeling well. And she tested positive for an STD." The final nail. I got tested the next morning. Thankfully, I was clean. 2 weeks later, I filed for divorce. Leah didn't contest it. I didn't care where she went after that. A friend told me she moved into a tiny studio apartment, looked thinner, pale, said she called the affair a mistake, a stupid fling. Mistakes can cost everything. 6 months later, the house finally felt like mine. I repainted the walls, bought a new mattress. I took a trip to the Rockies. Cold air, no cell service, peace. I stood at the edge of a cliff, arms outstretched, breathing in the silence. No more lies, no more pretending. Leah sent an email once, long, emotional, asking if we could try again. I deleted it. At a barbecue, I ran into Naomi and her new boyfriend. I pulled him aside. "Look," I said quietly, "if she ever asks for another girl's trip, just think twice." He nodded, face tight. And that was it. No revenge, no drama. Just me, living a better life without Leah in it. Sometimes I actually thank her for the betrayal, because it gave me the one thing she never could: clarity. She showed me who she really was before there were kids, shared assets, or years of quiet resentment. It's better to bury a marriage than bury yourself. And now, I sleep soundly. Because the next time I fall in love, it'll be with someone who can look me in the eyes and hold it when it matters most. It had been nearly a year since Leah walked out of my life. I had filled the silence she left with structure. Gym at 6 a.m., work till 6 p.m., hobbies on weekends. But as steady as life had become, I wasn't numb. I was healing. Or so I believed. One rainy Tuesday evening, I was just about to dig into leftover pasta when the doorbell rang. I opened it and there she was, Leah, dripping wet, clutching a black umbrella like it could shield her from the guilt that clung to her like the rain. "Daniel," she said, eyes searching mine. I didn't move. "What are you doing here?" I just need 10 minutes, she pleaded. I should have slammed the door, but closure's a tricky thing. It doesn't always come the way you plan it. I stepped aside. She walked in slowly, gazing around the space like it was a museum. My apartment had changed. New couch, new rug, no trace of her. This place looks different, she said softly. So do you, I replied. She wasn't the woman who had left. Her hair was shorter, her face thinner. Her confidence, the thing that used to own every room, was replaced with fragility. I got a job, she said. Admin at a law firm. Nothing glamorous. Why are you really here, Leah? She inhaled shakily, then reached into her coat and pulled out a small envelope. She handed it to me. I opened it. Inside was a letter, a handwritten apology. I tried typing it, she said, but it felt cold. I wanted you to know I meant it. I read in silence. I betrayed more than a marriage. I betrayed a man who loved me with his whole soul. You didn't deserve any of it. The lies, the infidelity, the disrespect. I thought I wanted freedom, but what I really wanted was distraction. From myself. You were the only person who ever really saw me. I don't expect forgiveness. I just want you to know that I see it all now. When I looked up, her eyes were glossy. I'm not here to ask you to take me back, she said. I just wanted to tell you in person, because no one ever told you the truth. I set the letter down. You're right, I said. No one did. Until now. Silence stretched between us. I'm getting remarried, I said calmly. Her mouth parted slightly. Oh, I met someone 6 months ago. Her name's Renee. She's honest, kind, grounded. Leah smiled weakly. I'm happy for you. You deserve that. You're right. I do. She blinked quickly, then turned to leave. At the door, she paused. Daniel, can I ask you something? I nodded. Do you hate me? I studied her face. This woman I once thought I'd grow old with, who shattered me with a lie. No, I said. But I don't love you either. Not anymore. She nodded slowly. That's fair. Then she left. That night, as rain tapped on my windows, I stood by the letter she'd written and lit a match. Watched it curl, blacken, and vanish in a tray. Some ghosts don't deserve a grave. The next day, I met Renee for brunch. She smiled the moment she saw me, leaned in for a kiss, and asked how I slept. Like a man who finally turned the last page, I said. Because I had. Leah was my past. Renee was my promise. And I'd never look back. 3 months after Leah showed up at my door, life with Renee was smooth. Almost too smooth. We were planning a small beach wedding. Something intimate. Just close friends, no drama. We rented a cozy Airbnb by the coast. Somewhere quiet, peaceful. Nothing like that cursed vacation Leah once used to cover up her affair. One afternoon, as I scrolled through emails at work, one subject line froze me. From Leah. Please read. Curiosity or closure? I didn't know which one made me click. The email read, I know I said goodbye, and I meant it. But I saw a photo of you and Renee on Facebook. You're glowing. And I realized something. I never stopped loving you. Can we meet just once? I won't ruin anything. I just need to see you one last time, please. I stared at the screen, heart still, mind racing. That night, I didn't tell Renee about the email. Not because I wanted to hide it. I just didn't want to give it power. But temptation has a way of whispering louder in silence. The next day, I found myself in the cafe Leah suggested. She was already seated, hands wrapped around a steaming cup of tea. You came, she said, half surprised. I sat down, only to tell you face to face that this stops now. She nodded. I expected that. I just needed to look at you one more time. She reached into her purse and slid a photo across the table. It was of us, years ago, laughing on the beach during our honeymoon, sand on our feet, love in our eyes. I keep this in my wallet, she said, every day, even after everything. I exhaled, then slid it back to her. I don't, I replied, because the man in that photo, he doesn't exist anymore. He died the night he found out the truth. Her face crumbled, but I didn't flinch. I'm marrying Renee, and I won't let you haunt that future. She wiped a tear. Then, this really is goodbye? I stood up. It was a long time ago. You just never noticed. I walked out of that cafe feeling no pain, no weight, no questions, just peace. The beach wind played with Renee's veil as she walked toward me, barefoot in the sand, her eyes never leaving mine. You look nervous, Jaha, she whispered when she reached me. I'm not, I smiled, because I know I'm choosing right. I've already chosen peace. Now I choose forever. As we exchanged vows, I saw Leah standing far away on a nearby boardwalk, watching, alone. And for the first time, I didn't feel a thing. No anger, no sadness, just freedom. Sometimes the people who break you are the very reason you find yourself again. Leah lied, and that lie shattered my world. But it also cleared the path for something real. Now I no longer live in betrayal's shadow. I live in truth, in love, in the life I rebuilt. The vacation that ended my marriage and was the beginning of everything else. Thank you, my amazing subscribers. Wow, what a journey. If you've made it to the end of this story, I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Your support means everything to me. Every time you watch, like, and comment, you're helping keep this channel alive and growing. And trust me, the best is yet to come. I see all your comments. I feel your love, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. Your thoughts and feedback inspire me to create even more powerful stories. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a new upload. More shocking twists, emotional journeys, and real-life lessons are on the way, and I don't want you to miss a single one. Together, we're building an incredible community, and I'm so grateful to have you on this journey with me. Stay strong, stay inspired, and remember, sometimes life's greatest lessons come from the most unexpected moments. See you in the next story.